Alright, so announced this morning alongside all the news that we did get, the mid-month banner, the new resurrections, we have Burn the Witch, Noel and Ninny, the Halloween versions are returning, in this case from the 13th to the 19th. It's relatively surprising to see this banner do return, especially since it's kind of following the normal limited banner schedule. For those that don't know, anytime we get a limited banner, they usually return after 3 months. In the case of Burn the Witch though, given the fact that they are collaboration characters, they aren't Bleach characters, right? They've always had an irregular release schedule. You can never predict when these characters are going to come back, and in this case, they're coming back tomorrow with a pretty good set of fillers, because as you can see here, it's a full Burn the Witch banner. It features all past Burn the Witch characters, and it makes for a pretty exciting banner, especially if you are a collector or just someone that likes Burn the Witch characters. Now, I will say right from the get-go, yeah, the banner's worth summoning on. Like, if you want these characters, they are some of the rarest characters in the game. They're overall a good set of characters, especially the Parasol Burn the Witch characters, who in my opinion have aged really well and are still relevant in this game, as well as just doubling down on some really fun and cool looking characters. If you want them, then by all means go for them, right? However, at the same time, I don't think this banner is a must summon. I feel like it's a good banner to pull on, but you don't entirely need to pull on them. If you don't need the characters, if you don't want them, most importantly, if you don't care about them, then don't summon. But if you are a fan of Burn the Witch, maybe you're missing most of the banner, all of the banner, then it might be worth summoning. However, I do want to give some potential advice. I was going to say foresight. I don't know what's coming out in the future, but my hope is that we are eventually going to get a Burn the Witch swimsuit banner, and since these characters have now gotten a rerun, there's a decent chance whenever we do get a future Burn the Witch banner, assuming it's a swimsuit banner, regardless of the seasonal event that it is, if we ever do get a future Burn the Witch banner, all these characters here, at least majority of the newer ones, Halloween and also Parasol, should be fillers. And with that assumption, I'm going to actually skip this banner on all of my accounts. My first and second account has already pulled on these banners multiple times. Like, I already have most of these characters here max transcended, besides Bruno and the 2 new Halloween characters. My second account also did 25 steps on the Parasol banner when it came back. Kind of wish I waited now, I will say. I would have much benefited here if I pulled on this banner. And my third account, an account that has none of these characters, I'm skipping it in the hopes that whenever we get a swimsuit Noel and Ninny, that's what I'm really hoping for in 2024. I'm hoping that does happen, and I'm hoping that these characters are going to be fillers. So it's a big hopium, but if it does happen, then I'm going to benefit from actually skipping a banner like this. So that's something to potentially maybe follows through if you have the patience to wait. You don't want to summon right now, but you want to also wait for the potential chance that we do get a seasonal swimsuit Burn the Witch banner, which I'd like to think has a decent chance of happening, since when it comes to seasonal Burn the Witch characters, we've gotten Christmas, Halloween, and also Parasol. There's not much left to do. They're either like Valentine's or swimsuits. Another round of Burn the Witch characters have not been announced, but they don't need to announce it since they did kind of drop the Halloween banner out of nowhere, so keep that in mind. But that tangent aside, on more so what my plan is going into this banner, again, I still think it's actually worth summoning on. Let's quickly break down the characters though. So first up, we have Halloween Ninny, a very weird character. She does have some problems, but overall, I think she is a very solid character. Her biggest problem right now is the fact that she does have a low damage output when the gauge isn't active. Lucky for her though, thanks to the gauge rampage, for every kill that she does get, alongside using strong attacks or any attack, it does fill up the gauge. She's able to fill up the gauge relatively quick. Especially in content like Guild Quest and also Limit Breaker, that's where this character really does start to shine. Outside of those modes, you will notice the downtime when this character doesn't have a crazy high damage output. It's only high when the gauge is active, and unfortunately, since she does lack the recharge when the gauge does activate, it means that you might have to wait a second or two before you activate the gauge or use certain strong attacks. Even having said that, she does offer some really fun gameplay, especially again in Guild Quest and Limit Breaker. I feel like she's a really cool character. I love her design, and she's definitely up there as one of my favorite characters of the year. Just understand though, she does have a little slight drawback, and that is the low damage output. But if you are a Ninny fan, you can probably get over that. Noel is a very solid character. While I wasn't the biggest fan of her gameplay, I really do feel like the Halloween characters were held back a bit this year. Noel comes with a good strong attack kit, mainly her SA2 and SA3 being a distant AoE into a track and vortex, then a full screen SA3. The way she plays is very similar to Thousand Year Blood with Yamamoto, in the sense that when you do inflict a status augment, which I guess she has a decent time inflicting since her SA2 is the track and vortex, you then get the 80% SP boost, and then you do more damage to any enemy you do inflict with a status augment. With weakening and drain, she's able to stay at full stamina. Not the fastest character in terms of clear time, but still a solid character nonetheless. But I'll go easily one of my favorite characters of the year, a Mind Super Linkshot farmer, up there with the likes of obviously Parasol Ikaku. But in some ways, you might actually prefer this character over Ikaku, given that he has really good survivability. In his case, with 2 killers, an increased chance to inflict status augments, with weakening and drain, a good set of strong attacks, and the fact that you do increase the drop rate for links or potions, super links or potions, and droplets, overall makes Balgo and Asushi one of the more valuable main characters in the game. Really safe to use character, and he also does easily farm links or potions, super links or potions, and also droplets. Macy is one of the best characters in the game with an amazing strong attack kit with her SA2 Tracking Vortex and full screen, but in combination with this strong attack kit, she has insane damage output, Frenzy +2, 80% SP boost, and she herself can apply weakening and also paralysis, and do 80% more damage to status afflicted enemies. Alongside that, she does have a team ability where she can reduce their cooldown by 20% when you do move in between stages. Really good and meta skill for Limit Breaker. Whenever you can pair with Yachiru, they make for a really insane duo. Also, most importantly, really good in the Range Squad 0 Human Guild Quest, one of the only good leads for that particular guild quest week. Bruno, really good gauge character, high damage output without the gauge, but when he does have the gauge, it gets even higher. He himself is a Heart Hollow killer, which is something that we do lack of. Right now, he is the best Heart Hollow killer in the game. Good strong attack kit, good damage output, what more could you ask for? But also, most importantly, he himself once more is a Hollow and also a Sparta killer, making him really good for those particular guild quest weeks, especially the nearly a Sparta guild quest, where again, there isn't that many options, and he really is good to have when it comes to beating that somewhat difficult quest. As for the next characters, keep in mind these characters are quite old, so they haven't really aged the best, but these ones are still somewhat usable. In this case, Noel is a super links or farmer to farm power links or potions, power super links or potions, and with that, she does have an increased chance to inflict status augments. She has 2 killers, Hollow, and also no affiliation. When she does have killer, she makes for a decent farmer, but other than that, her strong attack kit does leave more to be desired. She's not the fastest, but she is still a pretty good character when she does have killer. Same goes for Nini. In her case, she's a hard character with Sorb and no affiliation killer, has an increased chance to inflict status augments against her 2 killers, and once more, she herself is also a links or farmer and also super links or farmer. Good for farming. Other than that, most are just a collector's item. Bruno honestly is quite outdated. Great visuals, good strong attacks, but really low damage output. Nowadays, his only usage is seen in Arena, where he still becomes a pretty good character. Not the fastest character, but quite defensive since he does have Last Ditch, so he will be slowing down your enemy's team. Then we have the OG original Nini and Noel. In Nini's case, a Technica Ranka no affiliation killer, low damage output, can't inflict status augments, not much going for her, might resurrect later this year. Noel, same for her, can't inflict status augments, not the highest damage output, high at the time of her release, but right now, it's just okay. Good strong attack here, Mind Swiper, no affiliation killer. Again, more so a collector's item, but might resurrect later in 2024. And that's basically the breakdown for the banner. Of course, the highlights for this banner are the 5 newest Burn-Wish characters that came out this year. Most of the Halloween and also Parasol characters. Most of the Parasol characters, though, they are definitely the ones that aged the best. They were more broken on release. The Halloween characters, Nina and Noel, while good characters in my opinion, definitely went up to par as what they should have been. You know, they kind of held back on these 2 characters, giving them 1 killer, low damage output. Realistically, both Nini and Noel should have had Frenzy +2 built in. Despite their drawbacks, though, I think they are quite good characters nonetheless. I remember, think of this banner more so as collector characters. They're Burn the Wish characters, they're rare characters, they're good to have. But I would say in the case of Maisie and also Bruno, they're really good to have because they are unique in the sense that no one does what they do in their respective guild quest weeks. Balgo's also good when it comes to farming, but Ikaku does exist, so you don't entirely need him. Definitely, in my opinion, the prizes of the banner are Macy and also Bruno, and they might be the reason why you want to summon. If you have Macy and Bruno, I think you can skip this banner, and again, maybe just wait for a new round of Burn the Wish characters if we do ever get more, and just hope that these characters are fillers. That's my plan on all 3 of my accounts. Even though my third account is missing every character in this banner, I'm skipping it because I'm trying to think far ahead, maximize my orbs, especially because of the free-to-play account, and just wait, hold out, and hope that we get another round where I can potentially go for those new Burn the Witch characters and also try and pick up all these characters here. Most of the Halloween and also Burn the Witch Parasol characters. Keep in mind though, the banner itself is a normal step up format, so 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 are discounted at 150 orbs. Step 2, 7, 12, 17, and 22 are discounted at 200 orbs, and every 5th step guarantees you a featured character, which of course does include one of these 9 characters. It's a surprise to be sure, did not expect the banner to return so soon, but you know what, maybe now is a good time for it to return because I'm not expecting anything super crazy in terms of, you know, 1000 Year Blood War banners, hopefully, because mid-month wasn't 1000 Year Blood War, until maybe end the month February. So if you do summon on this banner, even if you go to step 5 if you're missing the entire banner, might be worth it. You should be able to still gather up some mobs. before the next big banner, maybe end of February, maybe end of March, maybe end of April. If you are someone on the banner, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.